Dime, ¿vamos para el mambo o no vamos para el mambo? Tú me dices, mami. Zumba. Hoy sí que sí. Ey. Dime pa' dónde vamos después de la playa. Si no sé cómo, yo traigo la toalla y de nuevo nos mojamos. Pero en mi cama te voy a dar tabla de selfie al bebé. Mami, tú vives lejos, pero como quiera yo voy a buscarte.
So, you know, we had to start the pod off with just a song that, like, again, hypes us up. Because, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, Bad Bunny is the shit. But, you know, welcome. I don't know, that's fucked up intro, but I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, welcome to the pod, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Just Curious pod. I'm Haydee.
And I'm Melissa.
We're here to bring you all the good shit, right? We're going to talk about all the hot topics, all the good stuff. Particularly this episode, you know, we have to dive into the Grammys. Because the Grammys were just last night. And, you know, I'm going to admit, I didn't really watch the show because I forgot. I forgot it was this weekend. But I caught like 20 minutes of the ending of the show. And then I caught up really quick and started watching all the clips.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a hell of a fucking show. Hell of a show. And I particularly wanted to start off the pod just with that Bad Bunny song because Bad Bunny did us proud last night. I am super duper. Like, you don't even know. Like, that to me was like, I mean, that was a lot of money.
Deal.
Yo, to me, that was the biggest deal because at the end of the day, I feel like what he did was represented his culture like through and through. I mean, I got to give him props because, you know, he stays true to his identity, who he is. He doesn't, like for real, like he's so freaking like just true to that, you know? And so like him bringing out, you know what I'm saying, and kicking off the Grammys like that. First of all, just singing and performing all Spanish songs.
Yeah.
That was book as hell to me. And, you know, it just, again, staying true to who he is and what he's about. And, you know, he represents a genre of music, which is popular right now. And I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's called dembow. And it's actually, you know, he does reggaeton, which is a more popular, you know, whatever, known genre. But dembow is, if you didn't know, is actually, it comes from DR. Comes straight from DR. So it's just them taking elements of reggaeton and kind of making it their own. So they create.
So what makes it different? What makes it a little bit different?
What makes it different is just the style, right? So again, it has like the, what's it called? Like the I guess like the I can't find the word, but I mean like just like the start and the, like certain elements of reggaeton. So those typical elements, but then it's like they added some different beats and stuff to it. They actually have a dope ass documentary on Amazon called La Cuna, which is what they refer to DR as La Cuna del Dembow. And like again, like, you know, Bad Bunny, like, you know, brought that, you know, he did a couple songs on his album and stuff like that, which he's also a winner of a Grammy. He did awesome. He just did awesome. I'm super proud of him. He's surprised. And, you know, obviously I expected hip-hop to shine last night, but, like, just to see him open the show was so dope. And I was so happy to see that. And he, like, he slam dunked that shit. Like, he had fucking Taylor Swift dancing her non-dancing ass. Dancing freaking.
But gotta be in the middle of everything. Like, why? Why are you dancing right now, Taylor Swift? But it was all good. I like it.
I like her, but, like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's just, to me, it's just, you know, white people stay.
I would say, as long as she don't make a song now where all of a sudden, you know, she's like appropriate and conquer.
I think she's the true fan of all of that. But I mean, you know, there's so much to get into with regards to the Grammys because, like I said, there were so many moments. Like it was an awesome show. I wish I would have seen it from start to finish because, again, you know, I didn't see all of it in its entirety. And I know you mentioned you didn't see the live show either, right? I know you've been...
No, I never watch anything live, so I've just been catching up on all the clips. And everyone, of course, is like, you know, on social media and everyone's texting me about it. So I've just been like piecing it together.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, I again, I was just floored by his performance, because again, it's just showing his just pride, right, and who he is, where he comes from. He shouted out DR, which I was so happy. I was like, you know what I mean? He shouted out DR, Puerto Rico, you know what I'm saying? So he brought that shit to the forefront, and I'm so happy and proud that he did, because, again, it feels good, you know, to see, because, again, to see that genre of music outside of the Latin Grammys was huge, you know, because it's just saying that we're transcending all those barriers, things like that, and, he's the one doing it. So, yeah. So I'm
excited for that. I feel like, music is music, and that's one thing. I feel like music crosses cultures. Music is something that can bring people together. So to me, like, I'm not Dominican, of course, but that still is a win. Like, to see that opening, of course, like you said, him performing in Spanish, like, that's huge, because I think some people would succumb to pressure to try to, like, make everybody like, oh, know the song, or do like a popular song that, everybody can sing to, but
no version, right? Like, incorporate some English speaking. And even when he like accepted his award, like, because he won for best let me see, I mean, música urbana, which is what he represents. It's just urban music category. In Spanish, and he won that, obviously. And I mean, he had a big ass year, you know what I mean? His album was
everywhere in Orlando you're gonna hear some Bad Bunny everywhere you go, so
yeah, nah, for sure. But I mean, again, like, I'm a huge fan, and I continue like to just become more and more of a fan, because again, like, I want to celebrate the fact that he's bringing our roots and our culture to the forefront, and he's being unapologetic about it, because he was cursing up a storm up in there. Like, he said all the Puerto Rican curse words and shit. But that's another thing too. He's never switched up his speech or whatever. He talks like they do in the hood and PR, and like, to me, it's just, again, representative of him not changing who he is and changing up to become part, you know what I mean, or to become successful and things like that. Right. So, anyway, let me get off the Bad Bunny, because I mean, again, to me, like,
no, that's okay.
But it was super duper exciting to see him. But I mean, like I said, there was a lot of huge moments. Particularly, I have to big ups Viola Davis, man. So Viola Davis, EGOT status. She got EGOT status last night, which, for those of you that are under rock and don't know what EGOT means, right, is Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. So last night she won an award for her audiobook, her memoir called Finding Me. And she got like, she was, and it was she's super classy, because she was like, she was like, yeah, this is my EGOT moment. She's like, I just did it. And I'm like, oh, snap, that's what's up. And I'm so happy, because again, she's a huge talent. And I love like all her movies, She's super dope.
Yeah, super deserving of it. And I feel like that's major. Like, that is major. Not many people get EGOT status. So, I'm so happy.
She's the 18th person. 18. There's only 18.
I didn't even know it was only 18. Wow.
Only 18 people have been able to achieve that status. So wow, that's huge. It's a small club to be a member of. So it's so amazing that, she accomplished that last night. And just, again, she was so humble about it. Like, she was like, like, just real calm and stuff. But it was so dope. And it was nice to see her in that moment and like relish in that moment. So it was cool. And of course, Queen Bee. You got to talk about Queen Bee. She was another record breaker. Beyonce is in a whole other stratosphere at this point. Like, Beyonce, like, last night she had 4 wins, and she like literally broke the record for most Grammy wins. With her 4 awards completing 30, that's like her 32 wins. She has 32 rounds. That shit is incredible. Like, I mean, Jay isn't even on her. Like, that shit is dope. And another thing I want to highlight, because, it was cool to see, see her like that reach that level of achievement, and then to see her man right by her side. And I'm telling you, it takes a very secure man to like sit next to a woman like Beyonce, somebody achieving. Not for real, it really does.
A lot of it's definitely true.
So I mean, and not to say whatever, because I mean, Jay is in a whole level of his own, right? I think they kind of symbolize, I think, hip-hop royalty. And not even hip-hop, I'm saying overall, right? Like success, a pinnacle of success. But it was so dope to see them together and to see when she won, how she shouted him out. She was like, "To my beautiful husband."
I'd like to thank my beautiful husband.
I know that I would agree, beautiful, but you know, when you love and you like supporting, Jay don't.
Some people were saying he looked old last night. He did look a little like tired. He looked a little tired, but I don't want him to cut his hair though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a fan of the. I know the statement he's making, and I get it, all of that, but I think he would look way more, like distinguished if he had a nice little brush cut or something. But
I like the statement he's making with that because
it's like a midlife crisis. Nah,
I don't think anything's gonna help Jay's look. I mean, Jay's gonna look like Jay no matter what. But you know what? I gotta give him props too because I think that he's not. Most men are like having facelifts and shit at his age or doing a bunch of crazy shit, probably Botoxing the shit out of their face. But you could tell that he's not that dude. Like, he's not that dude. And, he's aging as people should age. I mean, to be honest with you, people gonna age the way they age, and he's not embarrassed of it. He's not funny. I'm telling you, I love that. I love his style. I love his whole entire swag. So Jay can do that. Jay can pull it off. But it was so cool to see them together, of course. I always like to see, like, the dynamic between them and stuff like that. And it's just so, I don't know, like, to me, like, they're a great example. You know what I mean? And who knows, we don't know what happens behind the scene. But at the end of the day, I just love to see them, like, the way they carry themselves in public and stuff. And it's just the admiration that they have towards one another is just really nice to see. So I got it. I love it, love it, love it. What?
I said, you're so sappy. I don't think that when I see them at all, but I'll go with it. I don't. But I mean, so the thing that I'll give them, I don't look at any couple any type of way, like, I don't know, whatever. But I definitely respect them because at the end of the day, it's very rare you're gonna get their name caught up in anything. And I think with the exception of the elevator situation. Like, I feel like that's the only time you're really ever going to hear, especially Beyonce, being caught up in something. Like, you just don't see that. I think business is business for her, and I do love the way she carries herself because she's always professional. So I got to give her that.
Humble. Yeah, she's super humble. Like, it was funny because Trevor Noah was hosting the Grammys last night, and he made a comment where I guess she was actually late to the show. So she had won one Grammy, and she wasn't even there to accept it.
Oh, wow.
So in traffic, yeah. And Trevor Noah, by the time she came in or whatever, like, Trevor Noah was holding the Grammy for her, and he brought it to her table. And he made a comment. He was like, I thought you can, and then we can insert the clip there because it was super funny. He was like, I thought you could avoid all space and time. He was like, I thought you were incredible, whatever. And you can see Jay didn't even crack a smile. He's like,
the Queen is officially in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, Beyonce Knowles. Thank you so much. I was shocked to find out that traffic could stop you. I thought you traveled through space and time, but I'm glad you could be with us right now.
It was a funny moment. But it's dope, and you could tell she's never like consumed by those moments. She's super humble, even in her acceptance speech. Like, you could tell she was just kind of like receiving the moment and just super grateful and stuff. And, she dedicated her award to the queer community. She said it just like that. She was like, in dedication to the queer community and her uncle, Johnny, who was the inspiration for her Renaissance album.
I was going to say, yeah, Renaissance definitely, I think she represented very well. So I'm happy that she did. Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah, but it was funny to me because, there's been some talk how certain people were upset with her performance in Dubai because, of course, given that Renaissance is an album, of course, right, and dedication and, to the ballroom scene and to the LGBT community and all that stuff, right? They're like, how can you perform any of those songs in Dubai, which is a place that obviously they don't tolerate. They have no tolerance for homosexuality in that part of the world. And, she received some backlash for that.
But I think that was major that she was able to perform in Dubai. Dubai is not one of those places that just, lets anything go. So you could look at it either way. I can understand that argument, but I think it was huge that she performed there, period, so that says a lot about where she is and who she is, and the fact that they still are open to that, because Dubai doesn't just welcome everybody in, not at all.
Sure. Nah, that was huge. And again, that's what I'm saying. Like the place Beyonce's at this point, like Beyonce's on some Michael Jackson level type.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She's at that caliber. I don't know what else more she has to accomplish, like musically. I mean,
She'll find something.
Nah, and I'm sure her world tour is gonna be off the freaking hook. I mean, I would love to go.
I was gonna say, are we going? I don't know. I need somebody to sponsor our tickets.
No, man, I have to $1 million property to get me into it.
I know, right? Somebody needs souvenirs. Yeah, I want to go though, because I mean, one thing I'll say, I am not part of the Beehive. I am not. However, I absolutely love seeing Beyonce perform. Like, if there's someone I'm gonna spend my money on, it is Beyonce, because you know from start to finish. Not even that, the production from start to finish. I mean, they think about everything. It is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know you're gonna get your money's worth. So that's a concert that I might have to make an exception for.
Not here. I mean, we'll talk about that. We can finagle when we can work it out. But for sure, she I just wanted to like quickly state like what award she won. So again, we already talked about her, breaking the record for the most wins for any artist. Okay, this is what she's doing. She won for Best R&B Song for Cuff It. She won Best Traditional R&B Performance for Plastic Off the Sofa, which is one of my favorites.
Oh, okay, right.
Cuff It and Plastic Off the Sofa are two of my favorite songs on the album. She won also for Best Dance and Electronic Recording for Break My Soul, and Best Dance and Recording Album for Renaissance. So, I mean, she killed it. Like, she killed it.
Yeah, I think that's well-deserved.
That is very well deserved. I mean, a lot of people, for the most part, I haven't heard any negative feedback on that album. And I thought it was great. I like it. I like when artists...
I had to warm up to it, because it definitely was a different vibe, but it's a good album. So,
and that's what I like. I like when artists do that and they just switch it up.
Different.
I mean, because at the end of the day, I think that's what you should do, right? Like, you should push yourself, try things, you know what I mean, that you haven't done before. Like, if you're just gonna keep dropping the same genre, some people at the end of the day, they're good at what they do, but it's always good to see artists that kind of push the envelope, right, and push themselves further and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely wanted to cover all the winners. As far as hip hop, R&B, like Kendrick Lamar won Best Rap Album from Mr. Brown and Big Steppers. So he did great. He won several awards. He won for Best Rap Album. He won for Best Rap Song for The Heart Part 5, and for Best Rap Performance.
So have you listened to the album?
You know what?
Have you listened to that album?
I haven't really listened to it.
It was
yeah, I gotta get into it more. I never really delved into it that much. But I do like Kendrick Lamar. I think he's he's a breath of fresh air in hip hop. Because I think he brings forth, like, I think what I like about Kanye, right? What I liked about Kanye previously, which is Kanye wasn't talking about the streets and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I think Kendrick does that. It's like conscious rap, but at the end of the day, it's super lyrical. I think he brings all the best parts of
he's a storyteller, and this album in particular, it starts at the end and then kind of goes back to the beginning. His wife is also involved, and it takes you on a journey with him, with her. It's literally just a story. It's a good album. And Kendrick Lamar isn't everybody's cup of tea, but if you really sit and listen to him, like, and he stays with, I guess the same thing we're talking about Bad Bunny, like, he stays very true to himself. He's not trying to be mainstream. That's not his goal at all. He could care less about being mainstream. But like as far as underground rap storytelling, like to me, this album was amazing. But so I'm definitely happy that he got recognition for that, because sometimes, you know, underground is a little bit harder to get that type of recognition. But he's made it to the point where I think people are open to listen to him. But yeah, it's dope. It's dope. Yeah.
Oh shit. So yeah, I definitely have to get more into that album. But I mean, for sure. I mean, I think Kendrick is dope. Much respect to him, because you know, and congratulations on that win, because that shit is dope. You know what I mean? I think it was well deserved. Well, I'm definitely glad he won. But you know, we gotta get a little spicy, right? Because when it comes to the best R&B album, yo, my man Chris Brown got snubbed. And at the end of the day, the guy that his name was Robert Glasper. Have you heard of him?
So I haven't, but I think it's pretentious to say that Chris Brown got snubbed, because that's almost like saying like nobody else can ever win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because he's the popular person, nah, because this guy, his music is good. His music is good, and he's a producer. So I think I don't know, I think it's interesting that everyone is acting like only Chris Brown could have won.
No, but I get your point. And you know, I have to be honest, obviously I'm not really familiar with Robert Glasper. I heard he is very talented. I'm sure he is to be even nominated. But at the end of the day, I think this speaks to a larger kind of I guess elephant in the room. I think, you know, ever since, you know, the whole Rihanna and debacle and that situation, like Chris Brown has been kind of blacklisted from a lot of things, you know what I mean? And or there's been like this hesitation, right, to recognize him, and he's been kind of like whatever, like the Scarlet Letter, like, you know, marked by that shit and marked by that event, right, in his career. And he doesn't go to the Grammys. He didn't even go. He said, fuck that shit. And I get it. He's, you know, he's putting in work. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I think he should have won that category. But I mean, it's just the amount of music he puts out, and quality music, right? Because
But this guy too, like this guy produced for Kendrick Lamar. He's produced for so many different people. I think the only thing is that, I mean, I guess it's a little bit different because he is a producer, but my issue, I think, is even like Chris Brown's response. Like, it's okay to be upset or be disappointed, but you know, you not going doesn't help the situation. That doesn't show maturity. You speaking out and like, you know, dragging this guy on social media, like that doesn't help the situation either. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just think there's a different way to handle it. And maybe it's frustration. I don't know. But it's not like the guy is trash, though.
no, and I'm not saying he is, yeah, for sure. But at the end of the day, I do I have sympathy for Chris Brown in this situation, because I do feel that you know, he's not given his proper respect. I mean, Chris Brown is a hell of a performance.
He's making his coins.
I mean, he is, but it's not about that. I think it's just about being recognized by your peers. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I think he hasn't really been given, in my opinion. I mean, this is, and a lot of people have this kind of this take on it, but I agree with that. I mean, I am of the mindset that I feel like he has been kind of, you know, shunned a little bit to the side, and he's not like, they're hesitant to give him, because he's not even performing on these shows either. But I understand, you know what I mean? I understand that there's maybe his way of handling it, but I get it. Like, he's emotional about it at this point, because he's like, yo, I'm putting out quality work, and it's just like this hesitation and this just kind of denial of giving him his flowers, right? His recognition. I mean, that's frustrating to an artist. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I mean, I don't think he lives for that, because like you said, he's still one of the most popular artists. He's making money. He's touring. He's doing his thing. You know what I mean? But I do feel that, yeah, when it comes to, you know, these award shows, yeah, they don't really want to give him his props. And that's just my take on it. I noticed that. I mean, it's very rare that you see him. I think he doesn't show up because he knows they're not going to give him they're not going to award him the thing either. Which, I mean, let's be honest, like Jay-Z boycotted the Grammys for some time because, you know, he kept getting nominated and stuff like that and wasn't winning. Because I do feel sometimes I don't know who's all making these decisions, right? Whatever the Academy, whatever the people that are making these and voting on these things, but yeah, sometimes it is a popularity game, and it comes to the award show. Go ahead.
So that's what I was gonna say, and I mean, I definitely hear your point. I can receive your point, but I feel like sometimes it's nice to switch it up because that's the thing. Think about even with Beyonce, absolutely, she deserved all her awards. She's won. We just said 32. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that other people are not deserving either. So you do have to kind of also ask. There's politics involved behind it. There is popularity. I'm sure there's a lot more behind it, which could be why Chris Brown is not winning. But I do like the fact that somebody else, was highlighted. And like I said, he is super talented. And at the end of the day, though, Chris Brown's response and his outburst is about to set this man's career on like 1,000. Like, he already works with big dogs, but he's going to make him 1,000 times more popular now because of the way that he responded to it. So I just think sometimes, though, you still have to show a little bit of maturity when it comes to something. So, but I get it. I definitely hear what you're saying, but I still am happy to know there are other artists out there that are equally as talented and that are, also winning.
For sure. I mean, big ups to him. And at the end of the day, I mean, 'cause, I'm not shitting on him or saying he didn't deserve to win, but I mean, I think that again, it just speaks to the point that I feel like Chris Brown is kind of.
How long ago was that? That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
What, the situation with Rihanna?
I feel like it was.
Yeah, I read here. I just looked it up. So this is his 5th Grammy win. Or
Really?
Yep.
Oh, well, look at that. What do you know?
5 Grammys. This is what I'm saying. So Chris Brown deserved that shit. This nigga's won like 5 other times. So, and not to say whatever, he seems super talented, all that good shit. But I mean, I'm like,
okay, so let me ask you this. If Chris Brown was not in that category, would you make that argument for anybody else, though? There were other people in the category.
yeah, no, I
Get what I'm saying? Like,
I just feel whenever Chris Brown is nominated, I think there's a concerted effort to make sure he doesn't win. They don't
I
like
don't know.
That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. Because I mean, if you're looking at somebody that's put out consistently good music, he's that. I mean, let's be real. Like, it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like it's just like, oh, people, you know what I mean? Because sometimes people just kind of, what's it called? Root for somebody, right? Like, they just like somebody. Like, doesn't matter what they put out. But like, he puts out good music.
I don't disagree with you. I love Chris Brown. I don't disagree at all. I just think it's odd to say that he should win no matter what just because he's in the category.
No, I don't know if he should win no matter what. No. That's not what I'm saying.
That's how it comes out. That's how it comes out.
I've noticed a popular trend, though, that it seems like whenever he's nominated, he seldomly wins. Like, it's just, and it's okay. Very, it's just too common, right? And it's just, for somebody that's been putting out consistently good music for as long as he has, to be constantly just, you know what I'm saying, overlooked for the award, it's just, I don't know.
When was his last big win? Do we know?
His last big win?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's look it up. Because, I mean, I think that's important to highlight. But, I mean, it's just, just an observation. It's an observation.
His last Grammy was 2012.
Okay, and look up when that happened with Rihanna. Because it was right, I think, right after that.
Okay.
If not right about that time.
2009.
And that was his last win? 2012?
2012. For Fame. But I mean, I'm sure it lingered over.
Seriously. I mean, he don't talk about it no more. Because, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, everybody's kind of moved on. All parties have moved on from that. But I think he, did suffer, you know what I mean, a lot, as far as his career. And especially when it comes to that. I mean, I think it's safe to say that, there's still remnants of that incident, you know what I mean? And he's still kind of suffering the repercussions of that somewhat. Which, I mean, what he did was awful. I mean, there's no denying that, and nobody is trying to say that, you know, he should be completely excused, but I think he's shown. I mean, what do they say? The
Wait, he won an AMA in 2022, but
What about Grammy?
a lot of nominees, yeah, or a lot of nominations, I should say.
Right.
Wanted
For the
T
award. Yeah. So, I mean, to me, it just seems like, yeah, there's a concerted effort to make sure he's not.
You're okay. I'll give you that. Yes, his last Grammy was definitely 2012, and he's been nominated almost every other year since then, if not every year.
Think about it. He's been putting out music. It's not even like I'm thinking. So, and good quality music, clearly, because he's been nominated. So, yeah. So, I know more about the memes on that end. But, moving on to some other wins, I wanted to talk about also Encanto, the movie Encanto, the Disney movie Encanto. It was nominated for 3 awards and it won all 3. So, that's super dope. That's super dope. It won for best song for visual media. Wabbin?
I said that was a cute movie.
I love that movie. I thought it was so cute. I loved it. Me and Brian still watch it to this day. So it's definitely, they won for best song for visual media, best score soundtrack, and best compilation soundtrack. So it was super dope that they won. And so first time Grammy winner, I want to say, or maybe not. I don't know. Let's look it up because I don't want to say shit. But Muni Long won for Hours and Hours for best R&B performance, and that's so dope that she did win because that song is so cool. And
I'm not gonna lie, I hate that song with a passion. I won't lie, but
oh my gosh, she did a Spanish version, and I'm like loving it.
It was so. You know what? It's not her fault. The song is a good song. I just feel like it was abused. It was used and abused just too much. Like, it was just dragged. Like, if I never hear it again, I would be just fine. But I think she's deserving, though. It was a great song and it was a huge success. But for me,
she writes a lot of dope songs for a lot of artists. She's a great songwriter. So for her to step out, as an artist, and
that's
recognized in that way is huge, and it's cool. It's definitely cool to see that. So congratulations to her on that. And of course, we had to talk about Lizzo. Lizzo won for Record of the Year. Okay. Oh, really dope acceptance speech. You know what? I've never really been a huge fan of Lizzo. Because I didn't really understand all she was doing, just kind of like, I don't know, exposing herself and shit. Like, I was like, okay, like she wasn't really want attention. Like, I wasn't really I wasn't really sure what to think about all that, right? And just her overall. But, just kind of checking her out, and the more I see her on the scene, she's super duper positive. I love that she's true to herself as well. You know what I mean? She's just kind of like, nah, this is who I am. I'm not going to switch up for nobody. I'm not going to lose weight because that's what, I'm expected to do.
I think that's the reason I like her. I'm not a fan of her, but I like her for that reason because she doesn't care. And she makes people very upset because she doesn't care. And I like people like that. It's called like a disruptor. Like, why are you mad? Why are you mad right now? Let her live. So,
why are you mad?
Exactly. Oh, we haven't played that in a while.
Yeah.
We gotta bring it back. We gotta bring it back.
We gotta bring it back for the people. But for the original listener.
I know.
OG.
Right.
Not like we've been out for that long, but you know what I mean. But still, so her acceptance speech was really dope. She shouted out Prince. And I thought that was cool. She said, Prince, she promised herself, she said that after Prince's death that she would put out nothing but positive music. And that she has, her speech was happy, very upbeat, you know what I mean? She's always celebrating and embracing, life and, her body and all this stuff. So, I think that's dope. I think that's a great message, especially to see these days, because there's a lot of there's a lot of pressure now with social media to really not like yourself for all these reasons. But for her to constantly celebrate who she is, and her size, you know what I mean? She's comfortable in her size. And for her to celebrate that, I think is good. It's a great message, to really do that. So I thought it was dope. And she also shouted out Beyonce, which was cool. She had like her fangirl moment, but it was really nice, for her to like shout out Beyonce and tell her, that she was like, it was funny, her acceptance. She said she has skipped her 5th grade literature class to go see Beyonce perform, which probably made Beyonce feel, wow.
Damn, for real. I'm like 5th grade. Wow. Damn.
Cute. And she shouted her out. So it was a great moment. It was really nice. But of course we have to talk about the hip hop 50-year tribute performance, because that shit was dope as well. I think that was it was great to see hip hop just like be highlighted in the way, celebrating its 50th year, you know what I mean? So it's a pretty young form of music, you know what I'm saying? So for it to be highlighted, and they brought out everybody. Everybody came out the woodwork. I know you were watching it.
Pretty much everybody looked good. Like, I was happy to see that. I think Busta Rhymes killed it, as always. He hasn't lost it. Flavor Flav actually looked put together for Flavor Flav.
No, Flavor had energy.
Yeah, always.
What, yo?
They had everyone though. They had oh my gosh, now I can't even think of it. They had
they had Sparky,
everybody.
They had everything from the classics to the new school. It was dope. Missy came out. I haven't seen Missy in a while perform, so that was super dope. I still feel weird seeing Missy so skinny. Like, I'm like,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
I can't. Like, she's a little unrecognizable to me, because
that's for our time. We knew Missy looking different, but
I loved it. Missy's hot boys.
Oh yeah, girl, I used to listen to her album all the time. But you know what's important to note about hip hop though, like people always talk about hip hop being, or you think of just Black people. And the reality is, like, I feel like hip hop is it's American. Like, white people listen to hip hop probably more than Black people sometimes. Like, they, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a real hip hop head, it doesn't matter. Like, it's a culture. It's a movement. It's so many things. So I think, while it was like such an amazing moment for TV, I think it was amazing for everybody, because especially if you're of a certain age, that brought you back. Like, every single song, you're like, you grew up. And for me, I know, especially when it comes to hip hop in particular, it takes you back to a moment in time. I think R&B does that as well. You hear a song and you immediately can go back to a moment in time in your life. Like, you know exactly where you were when you heard that song, or, whatever. And like, most of those songs for me are very nostalgic. So I think for most people in the audience, that was just like epic.
It was dope. I'm telling you, like, I think that was another highlight of the show, because that, along with the final performance to kind of end the show, was Khaled, with Jay and Wayne and stuff, and that shit was dope. I love the performance. I love the setup that they did for that. Like, that kind of like the whole feast that they had, the spread and stuff. It reminded me of like the Last Supper. It was real dope. It was
go with Lil Wayne, I'm alike, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Lil Wayne's looking a little hurt too.
He does, but
he's a little Botox. Wayne,
he need more than Botox. He needs some extensions. He needs some, I don't know. But Lil Wayne as a rapper is hands down one of my favorites, so he can do no wrong. Yeah, oh yeah.
I never really like him. No, I just never really. I don't know. He never really did it for me. I get it. And I remember, matter of fact, when everybody was just like on the Wayne train, you know what I'm saying? And like, with the Carter and all his drops and stuff like so.
That's what I was about to tell you though. It was an era. I mean, I was a Lil Wayne fan before that, but particularly when I was in college and I went to an HBCU, the Carter was the soundtrack for our life for college. Like, in the dorm, that's all you heard. In anybody's car, that's all you heard. On the set, that's all you heard. Like, it was the soundtrack. So I think particularly just that time period, like, all his albums are good, but that one right there, like, it's like forever ingrained in my mind. It, like, I probably know every single song, every single word, because you just couldn't escape it. Yeah. Oh, it was serious. It was serious.
Yeah, nah, so he was there representing, and obviously Jay did his thing.
Oh, wait.
Khaled is funny as hell, man. Khaled is just Khaled, right? He's just in the cut. God did, doing his thing or whatever with John Legend. Obviously, I think they must be like best friends. He puts John Legend on
I
everything.
love John Legend. Yeah, because it's a hit. If John Legend is on it, it's a hit. It's no question about that.
Yeah, but John Legend adds that little something to
Yeah,
like the
it's
rest
a
of the
hit.
thing. It's dope. Like his voice sounds real good.
Remember Jay-Z and John Legend did a whole album together. That shit was crazy. Like, sorry, not the full album, but he was on like a couple of his songs. Yeah. But John Legend can be on any song. He can be on anything. It doesn't matter. It is gonna be good. But Khaled just knows how to ride that train, if you ask me. But you know, it's all good.
Khaled is originally from here.
I know.
Orlando. Yeah, and you know, he's a good DJ. I think that's, you know, a testament to like his musical ear. I think he produces really good songs and stuff like that. He's just, I don't know, I think Khaled is just Khaled. He's in the cut. He's pretty positive too, so I gotta give him props for that. I don't know, like he's kind of obnoxious.
I know a different perspective of him, but I won't speak on that.
It's not. Let's talk about it.
No, I just, from people that were under his label, but I'm not going to speak on that. But I think that Khaled does have the air. Like, I think he has that producer, DJ kind of air. He knows talent. He knows, you know, how to move the room. And I think his personality really is ultimately what created DJ Khaled. Because all of us from Florida know Khaled from, like, the beginning, you know? And I think over the years, like, literally his personality and just everything about his persona is what really, really took him to the next level. But, you know,
sure.
Yeah.
He did it up. So, yeah, I mean, the hip hop tribute was, again, like, it was so dope that they were able and gave, you know, the amount of time that they dedicated in the award show for that performance was really dope. And again, it just speaks, wow, you know, where hip hop has kind of gone. You know, in 50 years, hip hop is mainstream. It's like popular. It's pop. Hip hop is pop music. And that's great. Nah, that's dope. Because a lot of people continue to think that hip hop is just like some underground shit or like some shit that, like you said, no, hip hop is being listened to hip hop is popular music.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so dope to, like, you know, see it and obviously see them finally recognize and give it its due, you know, when it comes to that. Because, you know, we'll see an occasional hip hop performance here and there or whatever, but for them to like really celebrate it and celebrate its 50 years in the way that they did so in the Grammys, I think just speaks to the times. And I'm glad, you know, we're making some progress, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, they're giving it its proper like due, you know, and they're giving it its credit, you know what I mean? So it was so dope to see all those artists, which probably, you know, never really got the opportunity to maybe perform on a Grammy stage, you know, really, you know, during their time, right? In the genre and stuff like that. So it was cool to see them all come together and perform. LL Cool J's a trip. He was performing too. He cracks me up. LL Cool J is just LL Cool J. So, yeah, it was cool. It was interesting to see JLo also in the cut. I don't know. JLo's kind of looking to me. I don't know how long this marriage with Ben Affleck is gonna last. She's not really looking.
Already got in trouble. Did you see what she reprimanded him?
Nah, what happened? Nah, I didn't catch that.
I hope I'm not mixing it up. But yeah, like there was a clip where I think it was like, you know, during a break or something, and she straight up reprimanded him. Yeah, I hope I'm not mixing up people, but I want to say it was him and her. And then when the camera kind of like when they realized it, then he was just kind of like not making eye contact, and then she was kind of just acting like nothing happened. But yeah, let me make sure. Wait, I'm gonna look really, really quickly, and we can insert the clip. I want to make sure I was
That's
asking her
right.
right.
That's what she gets for marrying a white man. Why you
Wait, what? What? What?
get married that white man? No, because
Yeah,
it's like Ben Affleck.
Yeah, we got to insert the clip. It's definitely them.
Yo, I don't know. I just don't
Just
see
saw that. Oh. I mean,
I missed that.
I don't think JLo looks at race when she's looking for a partner. I think she looks at other characteristics. So
Oh, I'm sure. And obviously, you know, they have a long history together.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, I just, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, how you go from Diddy to Ben Affleck?
but Diddy ain't nobody to claim either.
Hey, but I'm not saying, like, I mean, Ben Affleck, in my opinion, is way better looking than Diddy. But what I'm trying to say is, like, at the end of the day, is like, wow, what a range, right? Like, you go from dating a hip hop mogul to the whitest actor on the planet.
But I feel like it's, you know,
Leveling up.
status thing. It's a status thing when it comes to JLo, I think. Yeah, like who's who?
Oh, but interesting enough, just a little tidbit of gossip, because Mark Anthony just recently got married to a fucking 23-year-old. He married the freaking, yeah, that shit was a big deal, obviously, in the Latin community. He married just, I mean, honestly, just a couple weeks ago. He married I forget her name, but she's like I want to say Miss Uruguay, whatever. She won like Miss something, like one of the pageant things.
Right?
She's 23. I was like, yo,
That's interesting.
I don't know what 23-year-olds trying to marry. So, I mean, I guess,
No, for her, that's she got a game plan. That's a come up. Those relationships are always symbiotic, though. We have to be honest about it. Like, no one is. Well, I'm not gonna say no one is the victim, but I think both people enter a situation like that with something to gain. So
her name is Nadia Ferreira, and she's from Paraguay. Sorry, and she's a model and Miss Universe.
Okay.
2021.
Yeah. So
Yep. So she was like first runner up. She didn't win, but like she was first runner up. But I mean, she's 21. Like, what are we doing, Mark? But yeah.
is that not what men do though? The midlife crisis.
You're right about that. But no, and interesting enough, I saw some clips that so his daughter with JLo didn't go to the wedding. So I found that to be quite interesting. Like, oh, maybe there's something there. But I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable with my dad marrying no 23-year-old.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
good look, but neither here nor there. But no, that definitely we'll have to insert that clip of JLo and Ben, because I'm sure that we're all there is. What do you remember? What moment in the show it was? It was just like a random moment.
It was like, yeah, it was like I guess like a commercial, I would say.
Okay, it was kind of like during an intermission.
Yeah.
Part of the show. And then they got caught.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it was genuinely just like a couple's moment, but the camera, of course, caught it. And then when they realized, they both were like trying to act like nothing happened. It was like just not looking at the camera.
I could just imagine, because JLo's a Leo like me, and I be getting, I could just imagine, I be getting and I be like, yo, what you doing? Why you like? Should I probably fucking regulating his ass during the show?
No, yeah, okay. We gotta insert this shit. They both look like they were getting on each other's nerves. They both were getting on each other's nerves.
Arguing and shit.
It was definitely a raw moment for sure. Like that was not made up at all. Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, we gotta put that in. Yeah, because people are walking around, so it looks like it. Oh, but what's his name is right next to them talking, Trevor Noah.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, and Trevor was probably doing his thing right around. That's hilarious.
Wait, so then how would they not know that the camera is on them? But it does, to me, it doesn't look like it was like a skit. It looks real.
No, I don't know. Probably wasn't. It probably wasn't. Genuinely probably was getting on her nerves, or vice versa, and they were having little couple spat.
Yeah.
In the moment. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah.
Countdown begins on that marriage.
Someone, yeah, in the comments, somebody said divorce in 3, 2, 1.
Yep. With her, knowing her, for sure. So we also have to talk about, Quavo's performance in tribute to Takeoff, which was nice to see. I know there was some talk of some sort of controversy between Offset and Quavo behind the scenes at the Grammy. TMZ was actually reporting some stuff, but Takeoff quickly took to social media and tried to squash all that. He's like, nah, there's no beef between me and Quavo whatsoever. There was none of that going on. It's just rumors and stuff like that. So I didn't bother to look too much into it because sometimes, there's just be sensationalizing things or whatever, exchanges and stuff between people. So, I'll take Offset's word for it, his word on it, and say that, how can they be? Grief is a powerful,
I was gonna say no. There probably is beef between them. I would argue. However, it still doesn't necessarily mean that it's for us to know or whatever. Just based on the circumstances, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that has to be like hashed out with many people regarding that situation. So I wouldn't doubt it. But like you said, I think a lot of that can be linked to grief, and so you have to kind of give people their space, to figure that out.
Yeah, no, that's probably the toughest thing because, his death was, something very unexpected, and it was just like, situation that probably could have been avoided altogether, but, who knows, and at the end of the day, it's tough, because they were a very successful trio, and at the end of the day, one of their, and not just that, but like, somebody obviously very close to them, they reached this level of success together, and for him to, no longer be here and stuff like that, I'm sure that's having to, that's hitting them both really hard, at the same time. So it's a difficult thing to kind of navigate through. So yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of rumors of a lot of stuff going on. I know there's been like some exchanges and stuff like that recently. Jay Prince went on a $1 Million Worth of Game podcast talking about Offset, and I don't know, trying to say, that he, nothing specific, but he was kind of sending warnings his way and stuff like that.
But this Offset dude, I ain't gonna leave him out. Nigga, you wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive. You know what I mean? So,
and Jay Prince is obviously somebody that's, he's a heavy hitter, and amongst, the circles and stuff like that. He's a street dude, you know what I mean? And he's very well respected in the streets.
I got people everywhere, so I hear all kinds of things. I'm gonna just say this to you. Don't never put me in no position where, I have to defend myself. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be healthy for you.
So I don't know what's going on there. It seemed like there might be a little bit of tension.
Well, the thing they were saying was that he was there, and people are saying that that's who walked past him when ultimately, I think it was Quavo was asking for help. Like, remember, I don't know if you saw the video, but so he was there is what they're saying, and he basically like just was not trying to help. So I think that's what people are referring to, but his message was very cryptic. It was definitely a threat, but it was very cryptic, and it sounds like, just in general, I just think there's a lot more behind that situation. So so I don't know all the details at all, but apparently that's kind of where I think some of the stuff is getting stirred up from.
Yeah, that might get messy. So hopefully, nobody retaliates or does anything against anybody. We don't lose any more like that. Yeah, people, because that would be very unfortunate. I think we have to transition, and honestly, I don't know, because I don't understand that whole street code shit. Like, me, I'll be the first one to snitch. I'll be like, yo, so and so, this, that, and the third. Like, I ain't no ride or die. I'm not claiming to be. That ain't me. So I don't understand all the street code, street whatever shit going on. But I do feel that we have to transition to a place where things are just handled differently, right? Because you can't be losing your life. I'm sure these are things that, they could kind of sit down, break bread about or whatever, right? Like, just have a conversation and work through. And we need to put more emphasis on doing that versus just picking up a gun and resolving our issues that way. Because gun violence, as we know, is rampant in this country. Like, I'm tired about hearing about shootings. I'm tired about hearing about all this gun violence going on in this country. And honestly, nothing being done as far as our government's concerned or passing any laws to try to help, which is fucking unfortunate. Like, that shit is sad. Like, to hear the amount of people whose, death could have been prevented, had we had some stricter gun laws. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, people were just running out for any freaking, I don't know, any grievance. Just running out, shooting up places and shooting up people. And I think that's just, not to go off too much of a tangent, but I do feel that definitely things need to be kind of addressed and handled. So I hope that somebody kind of steps in and tries to mediate that whole situation before somebody gets hurt. No more of that, type of violence needs to occur. Obviously, I'm sure Takeoff wouldn't want that shit. So yeah, hopefully nothing too ill comes of that, and they're able to work things out. And I mean, it's just not a good sign when people are already throwing shit out there like that to the world.
Right.
Throwing out those kind of threats and stuff, but we hope nothing serious comes out of it.
So last night I was actually catching up on BMF. Remember you were talking about BMF before?
Oh,
and
right.
I'm sorry. But you know what? The show is good, but there was like a moment where I had to just turn it off because lately I've just been I was listening to something and I'm just trying to be very intentional on like what I'm watching. And don't get me wrong, I watch Forensic Files, I'll be watching Snapped, I watch all type of foolishness. But there was so much violence in there, and particularly because, you got drugs involved, you got, different people beefing, different people at war with each other, people backstabbing each other. It's just so much senseless killing. And then each person had to one up the other person, a lot of ego involved as well. And it was just like a moment, like I was watching it and I was like, nah, that's enough for today. I got to turn it off. And it was good. Like the storyline is good. And obviously that's part of the game. But I was just like, golly, like, because the killing is dumb. It's so many people dying for no reason. And I mean, the reality is, though, just like how you're saying this situation, we've already lost one person. And depending on how people handle it, hopefully you don't lose anybody else. But when ego is involved, and then especially you got people hyping people up, like, oh, you're not going to respond? What you going to do? What, you heard what he said? Like, it just perpetuates it. So it's just, I don't know. It's a life that I don't understand. I don't want to understand it. I'm not part of that life, but I feel like when people, you're given this platform and you're given this life, like do something positive with it. It's hard to see sometimes.
Nah, I feel you. And I'll piggyback on that and just say that once you've escaped, you know what I mean? Those kind of, those pitfalls of being in the hood and surviving and stuff, because honestly, there's some, people are not just doing these things just because, they want to or because it's fun. I mean, some of these are things that people are doing to survive, in very rough environments, right? And I think it's important to highlight that because sometimes people want to just say, oh, well, they're just doing crime just to do crime and whatever, and selling drugs just to sell drugs. No, not necessarily. These are in very tough environments, and I can't really say because I wasn't really raised, in the projects or anything like that, or, in that type of environment. But at the end of the day, there's some really, some really difficult things to overcome, right? Like you're kind of, you're in this like dog eat dog type of situation. And sometimes, these are the things that you have to do because let's be real. We see Jay for who he is now, but he was, he struggling, to get his record label off the ground and to do a lot of the things. That's what funded it, was drugs. Yeah. And it's important to understand that because it has to do with where he comes from, right? And I think it's important that we kind of start understanding that's, it's a survival, right, mechanism or whatever, means to survive. However, once we escape that environment, it's important to, I think, get the proper help, right, in processing and learning to live differently. Because I think that's another thing too. Like it's glorified then. And even like with these stories, because I know 50 loves to like tell these like fucking, I've seen the story of Supreme. I've seen like, that kind of those, those cliques and stuff like that, which honestly are just glorifying, a lifestyle and a way of living. I mean, do the stories need to be told? Possibly. But again, it's a lot of glorification of this life. And I think people misinterpret, because I think people watching that, may think that, oh, that shit looks dope. Let's just, whatever, and not really understand the psychology behind what they were trying to do. Because had they applied that same skill set to something more positive, they would be CEOs. It's just coming from that environment. It's kind of hard, to, be of that mindset immediately, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? To just kind of have that opportunity. They really don't have those opportunities. So anyways, what I'm trying to say really is just, at the end of the day, I think it's important that, to a certain extent, we stop glorifying that to some degree, because I think I watched BMF. I mean, I started watching it. I was like, oh, the story's pretty interesting. But at the end of the day, you're right. There is a lot of killing. It's a lot about drugs and all this, and this lifestyle that is very unknown to a lot of people, right? But overall, it's just something that I think it's like, maybe we should kind of steer away from that a little bit more, because I think that's just very stereotypical of what, it is to be in the hood and stuff, and tell some different kinds of stories, and things of that sort. But then again, I think about it and I'm like, how does it differ from really telling like the stories from the mafia?
Right. And I was going to say, it's based on, real life events, and it is somebody's story. So I'm definitely not taking away from that at all. I mean, for me, it's just having the discernment. Like when I was watching it, I was binging it, but then there was just like a point where I was like, yo, nah. And then I put it on like, I don't know, a cooking show or some shit. Cause I was like, I got to detox, I got to get that out. Because sometimes we just don't know how we internalize that. And one of the biggest things was like the video going around of Tyree. And it's like, I chose not to watch it because I'm like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see somebody dying. If I've seen it in other forms, but I don't want to see that, and it's not because I don't want to think it's real or accept it, but there is an element of like, the more you watch these stuff, you become desensitized to it as well. And that's not normal to see that. That is not normal to see that type of violence towards another person. So, it's just a choice that you have to make. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not knocking the show at all. It was very good. It's very interesting. But, like I just had to be like, whoa, this is a lot. It's a lot. But, like I said, I'm not in that lifestyle. I'm thankful that I don't, resonate with that. But it is somebody's truth, and it's a lot of people's truth. So, it is a story that has to be told either way.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll leave it at that when it comes to that. I mean, it's just, overall, the award show was super dope. Just go back to the Grammy. Yeah, we gotta. Is that what we're still talking about? Damn. I'm talking about Quavo's performance.
Oh, okay, you're right.
But I get it. I mean, it's just got really, really low, and I got a little sad. I had to pick it up. But
you the one with the toxic. You bringing the toxic. But anyway, my take on that. They shouldn't have been playing dice anyway. So, be mad at me if you want, but
hard. I think it's hard, but like, for example, like, I mean, I would like to like see, because I mean, there's people that do it, right? Jay did it, I mean, there's people that kind of leave that whole mentality, evolve from that, right? And I think it's important, but I mean, to have the resources and things like that. And I don't know really what it takes, but I think it's also maybe not glorifying a lot of this stuff too, telling these stories. But again, it's just like, when you're right, when you're like constantly seeing all this murder, all this stuff, it's just kind of desensitizing you to like see it as, what it is. It's not healthy.
Yeah. And we got to be honest, though. Jay-Z was old when he got reformed. Let's be honest. He was older. He had definitely done a lot of stuff. And I think, but sometimes it also takes the right counsel. It takes being around the right people to make you level up as well. because I think Jay-Z is naturally very smart. I think he's always had an entrepreneurial mindset. But at the same time, sometimes people got to take you up out of that. Like, how you gonna be 40 and still doing the same thing? No, he couldn't, So, and maybe you could say that about their situation, that the fact that they were there at that time, and it was kind of like, oh, someone could have been like, this is not the best idea. But, sometimes that takes maturity, that takes leveling up. So me, I'm going to just go to bed. If something's a bad idea, I'm just not going to go. But everybody is not, people got FOMO, people want to be in the scene. So,
Yeah, no, because I think what you said is very key right there. I think it's who you surround yourself with. If you're going to surround yourself with people that at the end of the day, find that normal and stuff like that, it kind of keeps that your reality and your what's normal to you. And I think that's right. The problem is kind of stepping out and evolving outside of that circle. You know what I mean? And it's not an easy thing to do for most people because, they want to stay connected and still, with the people that they came up with. And sometimes you can't really do that. They're not willing to evolve with you.
Right.
Things like
and
this,
the music game will keep you down too, though, because the music is coming from life. It's coming from life experiences. So, even that, like, those artists have to also be willing to kind of elevate their music sometimes if they're gonna elevate their
little stories, but it doesn't have to be you living it. You know what I mean? And I think there's this whole thing, and I think I think it has evolved some because I think it's like there's a lot of people doing hip hop that aren't necessarily living this street life and all this gangster shit or whatever. I think hip hop has evolved from that already, which is good because I think there's a number of artists, much so like Kendrick Lamar and things of that sort.
I think they're the minority though.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. But I think there's still an element of it. I think there's people. I think it's huge to see someone like Jay-Z. I mean, I think he's a huge role model in the industry for something like that because a lot of people think maybe, in order to stay relevant, you have to stay street. And Jay has kind of shown what that could look like. I mean, Jay evolved from a street dude selling drugs, doing all that stuff to, like you said, an entrepreneur, a full-on mogul, and just somebody that's doing other things. Are you falling asleep?
No. No. First of all, these lashes that I have on,
look like sleepy as
no, they must be like, why talk? I'm working on like 3 hours of sleep, but no, I'm listening to you. I have it can be a lot of things right now. I don't know. I got a fucking lazy eye. I got 3 hours of sleep. I got all these lashes. I don't know what it is. And this is not tea. So who knows?
But anyways.
No, I was listening.
No, I know you were listening, but you just look like you were falling asleep. I'm like,
no, okay, let me
being too long-winded, which I can be. Oh, my bad on that.
No, it's not good. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm kind of rambling at this point, so let me stop. But overall, yeah, we were wrapping up the whole Grammy situation. And it was dope. I think it was cool. I mean, I don't have anything, negative to say. I didn't see anything where I was like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. Again, I didn't see the full on show, but everything that I saw, I think it was properly done. It was a great production. They had great production, honestly. And I think it was cool to see how much hip hop took the center stage on so many performances. And again, Bad Bunny representing. It was so dope to see him again. I really respect him as an artist, like straight up. Like I really do, because just how open he is. And his last performance, like he literally like kissed one of his dancers. He was just being himself and just putting it all out there saying, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna do me and I'm gonna be who I am fully, which I thought was cool. And it was just really dope to see. It was cool to see during the show how Adele and Lizzo are like besties and chill.
Oh, I didn't see that.
They were hanging out the whole show. I saw a lot of clips of them chilling. As a matter of fact, when Lizzo accepted her award, she mentioned Adele. She's like, "We Adele just having a good time." I'm like, I see that. They just
I could see them being friends. I could see that.
Yo, Adele has been taken into the fold. Let me tell you, girl. She's dating yeah, you know who she's dating, right?
No.
Oh, girl, let me tell you, because I forget his name. But he is one of LeBron's best friends. He's like a huge sports agent.
Oh, okay. Wait, so that is his manager, his agent.
Correct. Yep. That's his agent.
Oh,
Yo, and this dude, like, yo, he's Rich Paul. Yeah, I forgot his name. Rich Paul.
I
Young.
didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah. And she won. Adele won an award, too. And when she went up to accept her award, she mentioned Rich Paul. She was like, "I'm trying to keep myself together." I was like, "All right, Adele, shine, boo."
Oh God, Rich, he said, don't cry. If you win anything tonight, don't cry. And here I am crying just to my...
Shine up, boo. So yeah, she's dating Rich Paul. I'm like, all right, do your thing, girl. So I think, she's chilling and, probably opened up her little circle of friends a little bit more, She's dating. I like her. I do. I like her. I think she's super talented. Oh Lord, they're trying to say, yeah, but she won for best pop solo performance, which she deserves it. Adele's super dope. So Adele and Lizzo, they probably got fucked up together.
Probably.
They probably got twisted because they both won, and they had a great time. You could tell they had a good time and stuff. And they both dating black men. So, they're having a good time. They're having a good time. So, nah, it's cool. So, yeah, that's overall like the sum up. I wanted to go out to a cool song that I heard. I just wanted to put out a little new music and just following the Latin theme in which we started the pod.
Okay.
I want to end it on the same Latin theme.
Wait, I just found out Lizzo's name is Melissa. I did not know that. Huh.
Oh, her name's Melissa?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay.
Names together. Yeah, I didn't know Lizzo's name. I didn't know her name, but Lizzo's doing her thing, man. And she's, again, she's full herself. She's not trying to be anything for anybody. And that's where it's at. So yeah, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get out of here to a song that I wanna play. And the song is called Ex Si Volvemos. It's by Karol G and Romeo Santos.
Oh, okay. It's working.
Vamos a hacerlo por última vez, bebé. Que en el amor no, pero en la cama nos entendemos. Es una porno.
Did you play this for me before?
¿Cómo lo hacemos?
This is me.
No borraré tu contacto y estoy al tanto por si volvemos. Pero si no,
I like Karol G.
la orillita se me cuida, pero llama cuando quiere que te.
So what is she talking about?
So they're pretty much talking about these are two exes and they're saying the relationship didn't work. We do understand each other physically. So let's keep fucking pretty much. Oh, Lord. I'll fix my life.
Oh, wait. Got it. I like it.
She's like, oh, let's do it again. Not in love. Not when it comes to love, but in bed. They were going to try the relationship didn't work. So they're like.
So he's about to come in. What is he about to say?
Well, I don't know, Melissa, because I didn't write the song. So I can't. What do you mean? Play it.
What's the next verse?
Well, I don't know the song. I just heard it. I don't know the song completely. I'll tell you if I see it.
Oh, I thought you been vibing to the song for I don't know.
I just heard this song. I just heard it, and I started listening to the lyrics, and I'm like, oh shit, this song is. And I like the rhythm. It's like a reggaeton song, but it's dope. I like the lyrics. They're cool.
Well, let me keep playing it then, because now I want to hear the rest of it. So let me play it. Hold on.
Yeah, keep playing it. It's good.
song.
Guarda este video para cuando te haga falta y estés mojadita pensando en ti. Vamos a hacerlo por última vez, bebé. Que en el amor no.
Okay, so wait. Right. So I kind of got like a little bit of it, but give me the whole gist.
Well, pretty much he was kind of saying like, yo, I'm not gonna like erase your contact from my phone just in case, you know, we get back together. It's like this, you know, back and forth, kind of like wondering like, are we over each other? But he's like, yo, I'm so addicted to you. Don't think I can, you know what I'm saying? He's like, we're super toxic though. So he's just kind of like, you know, going through the motions of, nah, this ain't healthy. Got a new relationship. Damn, I think I'm addicted to the sex type of situation. So, it's like,
You weren't like this on Haydee. Oh my God.
I love this. Let me tell you, because, but not really. I mean, you know, I've moved on to greener pastures. I'm good solo. Solo. Yeah, no, I'm actually, you know what? Like, I've actually gotten, I feel like much clearer. Like, you know, and it's not about, you know what I mean, dating or a relationship and stuff. I mean, it is a little depressing not coming up with Valentine's Day right around the corner. It is for me because
we're gonna have a Valentine's celebration.
Oh, is that what you were planning?
She's like, oh,
not
sorry. I don't have a penis, but still, sorry. But no.
Oh, that's what's up. That's cool. I think that's a great idea. I mean, seriously, I'm like, yo,
you're not invited anymore. You're not invited. Huh? You're not invited anymore. No, that was very lackluster.
No, I'm just like, whoa. I'm like, is that what you mentioned that you were trying to plan? Like,
yeah.
That's a good idea. That'll be fun. Yeah, girl. I'm like, I don't know. So it is a little depressing with Valentine's Day 'cause I like to celebrate things like that, but it's all good. I was thinking about doing like a picnic with Brian because I love picnics, but it is a little bittersweet because last year for Valentine's Day, Drew did a picnic for me. So it is a little, but I mean, I like picnics.
Why are we doing a picnic then? No. Do something else.
I like picnics.
No, do something else though. No. Do something else. No.
Do something else.
We can do a picnic on another weekend.
Yeah, probably should.
That's like signing up to be depressed.
I ain't think about it like that. I was trying to turn it into
100%. You don't do the same activity.
Huh?
You don't do the same activity.
Well, no, but I don't want to associate all picnics with him. Like, that's not what it is.
But not on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, yeah. Planned a really nice picnic, by the way. But it's all good. It's all good. No, bro. But I mean, I think it is good to kind of like, you know, like the way I'm processing things and stuff. But I had no business being in a relationship like anytime soon.
That's good self-awareness.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's something that I honestly, like, I every time, like, something I get disappointed, I'm like, yo, it's just because I really feel like, yeah, like, it's just not, I have a lot of work to do, like, internally and just on my own, where, like, you know, that's why those things don't really pan out for me. So, okay, it's just what it is. Not really.
I don't think it's 100% you, but either way, when you're ready, when you're ready, it'll, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just like, and even like sometimes like I'll be out and I'm like, oh, like when guys are like expressing any type of interest, I'm like, oh God, like I'm just not like even there. And it's not even just that, but it's just like guys that I'm like, I would never, like, I don't know. Like, I just don't see it. Like, I don't even know. I probably met somebody and I just don't even see it.
You need to go on Love is Blind.
Oh no, girl. I don't need that kind of stress in my life.
You would be so good on that show. You would be so good on that show. Yeah. You would be up in that pod. You would know everybody's whole fucking life story in that pod. You would have people crying on the other end.
Yeah, I feel like I'll get such a hot mess on that show because I'm like, I'm super emotional. I'll probably be all invested. I'm like, what? He has two? No, he's fine. I'll be that chick. I'll be having all those emotional roller coaster situations. But I'm not fighting over those dudes. I'll be like, all right, you want her? That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
Funny enough, there's a girl on Ready for Love that was at my old brokerage.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
That show is so funny to me. Cause like I've seen a couple episodes now, like the latest episodes, and it's such a joke. Like I don't really.
Is that when the couples go on there and they have to decide or no?
Oh, that's the Ready for Love. That's the show that we watched together. Remember? You started watching.
Wait, the pod one?
No,
Ready for Love is time.
Ready for Love. Which is like or singles trying to.
Oh yeah,
that show is weak.
So on the Miami one that we were watching, you know one of the girls?
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm not cool with her, but like
no.
I know who she is. Like,
oh, now you're gonna make me watch it. You gotta tell me who.
Her name is Cynthia. Cynthia, I know her. She used to be at my brokerage. Like I met her briefly, but like I didn't really. She was real quiet. I mean, she's a little bougie. She's bougie on herself. She's a little
bit. 80.
A little bit.
Don't get beat up in the streets.
What for? What? I didn't say nothing bad about her.
If we out together, just don't be talking shit about people. Let me see.
Oh no, I wasn't talking. No, I wasn't even trying to say anything. I'm just saying, like she's no. I mean, I don't even know. Like one of the guys, I think that she was interested in or whatever.
Oh,
the last episode, like he left because of COVID or some shit. I don't even know. Like he left because he got COVID.
Which one? The one with the tendril?
Yes, I didn't like him at all. But that was like a guy. She was digging him.
First of all, I would have had to be like, excuse me, which is kind of move that over there.
For real.
Because it's a no. But see, that's why I couldn't be on Love is Blind, because that shit matters. Like, we not gonna do that.
Oh my God, can you imagine my face when I'm meeting the person that I'm like, I just got proposed to and I don't like the way he looks? I would be like, oh no.
See, that would be gold. That would be gold on there.
I want to be like some really like doofy looking guy like that. Oh no.
Yeah, because you know what? The type of personality you like, it's gonna be like I don't know. I think it would be a different type of person.
But that's the thing. Like, I don't even think like I'm into really attractive guys. Like the guys that I tend to like, they're not like super duper attractive. Like,
yo, you shitting on everybody today.
No, I'm not shitting on them. I'm just like,
no, I think your ex was handsome. The most recent person.
Oh yeah,
I think so. No,
yeah, he is. I found him to be very. I mean, I did. I did, but yeah,
oh my God.
What? Oh my God. I thought I was gonna talk about.
I know this just went so left, but it's okay.
What's
you said the name.
Now that should not be named or something like that. What's the thing? How did you say it? Baltimore?
Oh yeah. You said his name one time though. We can bleep it out.
Oh yeah. Kay's gonna have to bleep that out. I'm gonna have to give him a little rundown. Particular name inside, you can bleep that shit out.
Oh my God.
He's Voldemort up in here, but yeah, I can't do it. But I'm proud of myself though, because I have not looked at his stories. I have nothing. Like I'm just.
No, I know. I'm very proud of you. I can see the work you're putting in.
Well, because it's not going nowhere. It's like, at this point, I think I kind of understand that it's not gonna be anything other than what it's been. So it's like, so anyway,
well, I respect that though, because I feel like you made a decision and you stuck with it. So
I am kind of like that. So I mean, I've had my moments, where I make fault.
Yeah.
I see, I've had many of those with that person.
That's okay.
Overall, I feel like, yeah, once I kind of feel like I'm not getting, what I need. I'm like,
attention.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah. Once I don't have the attention, I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go and get that somewhere else. Not just like, not even, to be honest with you, I'm not really thirsty for it from somebody. It's just, I want to be with somebody that I like. You know what I mean? It has to be, it's not just anybody, because I could have just anybody, right? We all could. Like, you could just, no, you could just have anybody. You could, like somebody that, gives you the attention. You're like, oh, okay, cool. I'll entertain it, whether I like them or not. But I don't like to do that.
Now, I was gonna say that I don't have a personality for. You already know me. If I don't like you, I'm not. It's a no.
Yeah.
It's just a hard no. Yeah.
That's hard because.
But you're right, though.
Yo, you see how quick I cut off that one guy that I went on the date with? I was on.
You needed to, though.
No, I needed to. He was like, oh, but he was like, he's trying to bang me out again. I was like, no, I'm not interested. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
I think you were even kind in that situation. You were very kind. So, yeah.
That was not sorry, sir. But, I don't know. It is what it is. But we'll see what, what the future holds. And, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like my love life is, it's not that it's complicated. I don't think there's much of it. Like, it's not even interesting. Like, it's not interesting. It hasn't been interesting for a while. It's not interesting at all. Like, I'm like, I don't know what's up with that. Definitely no guy.
Yeah, it'll hit you when you're not looking for it. When you're just like, you're gonna be in public. It's like, get up. It's true. It will. When you're open to it, like you have the type of energy that when you're open to it, it will come. It will gravitate to you. So,
okay, no, it's fine. Anyways, so yeah, we'll see. So yeah, let me know about that Valentines. I will be there, and
of course.
Say, but yeah, that's cool. And then I don't know, man. I don't know what we gotta hang out. Like, we gotta plan something.
I know. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. I know.
Oh, I know. Like, we haven't done anything. I had the weirdest weekend. Like, I was just like, space here. Like, seriously. Like, I was not well. Weekend. I did my best to try to, because Brian's looking at me like, yo, what we doing? Why are we still at home? And I'm like,
that's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're not, and that's the thing. Look, I'm the type of person, and it's like I'm working to be better when it comes to that, like using other like what's it called, like other coping mechanisms and stuff like that. But I'm the type of person, when I feel some type of way, like I shut down, like I become a homebody, like I'm super duper isolated, and I don't want to be like that, because that just like kind of makes it just makes me feel worse. Like I'm in that state is like, yeah, I don't really feel very social, but at the same time, it's like, it increases my, my anxiety more. Like, I don't know what's up with my anxiety control and stuff. Like, I literally
I like go to sleep. I feel like I just shut down and I just sleep. I've learned that about myself. Like, a lot, it's not even that I'm tired. I just feel like I can't. Like, I have to like I just have to go to sleep.
Yeah, my mind races and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, I realize I'm like, I have to like, I just have to like calm myself down, period. Like, calm myself down, get myself to a state where I'm like, yo, shit's gonna be okay. Like, I don't know, like, it's not even numbing myself. It's just kind of bringing all, because I feel like my body is under attack. I feel like this, like everything's like everything's going wild and stuff like that, and I feel it and I can't control it. So when I do that, it just automatically gives me a dose of fuck it, and it's just like, we're good now. We're good now. I can kind of come back to reality. But anyway,
and sometimes you got to do what you got to do. It's a little bit challenging sometimes because, I definitely thank you. Like, you were sharing with me kind of how you were feeling and everything. I'm always big on like respecting people's space and giving people room to kind of work through something. But I think it's always like kind of hard because sometimes you kind of feel like, damn, should I do something? Should I, whatever. But, I also know that you were kind of like, you had to just kind of like go through it. You had to kind of just like go through it. So
I probably still will, because like I'm the type of person, like, I don't know, like I get overwhelmed and I freak out about stuff. Like, I don't feel like I'm sure, or I feel like I'm in a, But again, it's like there's no certainty in life, you know, and it's just kind of becoming accustomed with the fact that it's just when things don't go my way, like I start freaking out about it. And I gotta, you know, and I deal with it. I mean, not the day, but it's tough sometimes. But I mean, it helps. I did a lot of meditating. I literally went to the park with Brian. I was like literally, I mean, it was hard too because I was trying to keep an eye on him too because I'm like, I just whatever. But I did meditate for like 10 or 15 minutes, and that was really helpful. Just to be in the outdoors, just breathing fresh air, and just being outside of my comfort zone, being outside at home. That helped immensely. Because I didn't feel like being out, but I was like, nah, let's just go.
No, well, you definitely couldn't have gone with us to the circus because you would have been like, it was a lot. As an adult, I was sitting, the kids loved it, but I was sitting there and I was like, what is happening right now? It was just so much like stimulation and just like a lot. It was like very crazy. And for me, I was like, I was ready for it to be over. And it just felt like forever. I was like, damn, this thing is long as hell. But
I felt like an airlift, that airlift ride in California.
Oh my God. Don't remind me of that shit. But basically, because when I thought it was over, guess what? It was only the intermission. And I was like, come on, bro. Like, I don't even like long movies. Like 3-hour movies, nah. Like, I don't want to do it. So that's how I felt in the circus. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, y'all need to wrap this shit up.
I haven't been to the circus in a while, but I don't know.
It was good. I was impressed, but that was enough.
I was thinking against circus and zoos. Like, I
hear you. Yeah, I hear you. You know what I felt like? So this one didn't really have animals. It was people just doing a lot of stuff. And it was a full, like, everyone there was, like, Hispanic. So I don't know where the circus originated from because it definitely was not, like, an American circus. It was by Florida Mall. But first of all, so much talent. But the only thing that, for me, was uncomfortable, they did a lot of risky stuff with no harness, no nothing. And I just felt like, I know this is what it is, but like, damn, like, I don't know. Cause just, one small thing and like, it was a wrap. So that part of my brain, I think for me is hard to shut off sometimes. Cause I'm watching them and I'm like, yo, how much are they paying you, son? Cause like, you better be getting paid a lot to be doing this shit. Like, so that, for me, that part was uncomfortable. Cause I'm like, I don't know about that. But if they pulled it, that shit, they were talented though. It was, I'm not gonna lie, like it was good, but yeah,
they were mainly acrobats.
Yeah, it was a lot of acrobatic stuff and just there was like one random clown that wasn't funny, but yeah, more circusy, but like Cirque du Soleil.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, I get what you're saying. Like just more circus, because Cirque du Soleil is more of like a, I don't know, like,
like you're on shrooms and
as you being packed up on that. That should probably look dope though. I'm like, oh,
yeah, I will never know. I will never find out. I ain't about that life.
Yeah, I want to do ayahuasca. I still want to do that.
You would.
I want to do that. I
do.
feel like I'm gonna have a very intense. Matter of fact, weirdly enough, Brian woke up this morning. He was like, "Mommy, I saw my sister." I'm like, "Your sister?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, "Yeah, I saw her in my dreams." I'm like, "Oh, you did?" He was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "What is she saying?" He was like, "Oh, she just wanted to play with me." And I was like, like he told me like straight up, like he woke up and the first thing he told me, he's like, "Oh, I saw Lily," and I'm like, "Your soul."
And he was like at peace. He was like chill.
And I think she does. I think she visits him in his dreams and like, he was like, yeah, she just wanted to play with me. I was like, wow, just the way he said it. He was so matter of fact about it. But I was like, that's good. I'm like, did you play with her? Did you have fun? And he was like, yeah, that was good. I was like, yeah, because she was the same age as him when she passed.
Wow.
So yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. I gotta mention that to my mom, as a matter of fact, because my mom's always like, oh, I wonder if like, she he sees her or whatever, because he knows she passed, and everything. About that. I didn't want him to be like kind of wondering, where she was and why he hadn't seen her anymore. It's just weird. So I definitely made it a point. I was like, no, she's no longer here with us and stuff, to just let him know, so that way he wasn't like, just kind of wondering like what happened to her. And so, but I thought that was interesting. And yeah, I'm like, wow. Like, I was like, okay. Like, it was just one of those things. But I don't even know why
I'm not surprised though, because being that he's a kid, kids tend to be more open and not afraid, and just like they just take it for what it is. So I think that's beautiful. Yeah,
that was cool. Oh yeah, but yeah. So let's wrap it up. Let's wrap this up.
You're so crazy.
Weird thing, but I don't know why. But my sister's the same way. And like the other day, I kind of overheard her like making, like she's talking to Brian over the iPad, and she's making all those noises. And I'm like, is something wrong with you? Like, are you going through? Like, I felt like she was having like,
wait, who?
Eileen, yeah. For the spat, but we do that, and I do that too. Like, I'll just do the spat. Yo, I thought she was having some weird. Like, you really focus on it. It's normal to me. But I was like in that moment for some reason. I was like, yo, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you making all these freaking weird noises? Like, it's just so weird. But I just did that. Like, I do that sometimes just out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's funny.
Weird shit. I'm goofy as hell, but you already know that.
Yeah.
And so do the people listening. They know that shit already.
I think they know that.
I think they know.
It's special, Kate.
But yeah, so it's been another episode of the pod. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Who knows when that'll be, but
in a week.
In a week, okay.
Or two.
Yeah, maybe. Out. We'll see. All right, guys, take it easy.
Thanks for listening.